Hello internet people, it's Maverick here from my YouTube channel, or if you know me from Switch 2, because I'm both, I'm Dominic. Don't go away, I need to talk to you. I'm pretty ticked off right now. In fact, I'm very ticked off, to put it mildly, but there's enough profanity out there. I'll try and refrain. Don't guarantee it will last to the end of this video. I'll tell you why. I'm pissed off, told you wouldn't last, at the number of e-cig companies that are out there that are either flat out don't care about their customers and flat out don't care about what they're selling, or worse, they know full well what they're selling and they're profiteering and they're charging outrageous prices and making outrageous claims which aren't true. Let me give you an example. I interrupted, I was working on my website because I've got a new product coming out next week which I've worked very hard to deliver, and it was difficult to source and find a good enough product for this exercise to bring my customers and the public a good product that does what they need it to do at a reasonable price. Okay, and I'm talking about a disposable e-cigarette. Now, I'm not going into the details of mine, that'll be another video when I'm in a better mood, but I wanted to find out, because I figure I'm bringing out one of the best on the market. I was doing research, as I always do, into what other people were selling, and I googled best disposable e-cig because I wanted to see what you would get. Alright? Because I don't make spurious claims about my products. I research them, I test them, and I only tell you what I know to be fact. Alright? If you're new to vaping, be careful, because there's plenty of companies that don't do that. There's some very good companies out there, right? There are some very good companies. I found some very good suppliers myself before I started selling them, and I used them for 9 months myself, a bit less, 8 months. There are, but they can be hard to find and identify if you're new to this. They're not necessarily going to be the ones with the best pictures and the flashiest websites. Some of them are, okay, but look, here's an example. I know I'm rambling, stick with me, especially if you're new to vaping. This is important stuff, okay. This is a box that is still on the market, you still see them. Early product though, where they sold you in this box as a little plastic tray, and you'd get 10 cartridges like this, okay, that designed to look like a cigarette filter. I'm sorry, it's going to fall. There's a hole there, I'm putting it in the wrong place. Okay, then you get the 10 cartridges like this, 10 in a box, and you plug them into the end of your e-cig, okay, and you could vape. Well, it tasted pretty disgusting, but that's not the point. They didn't make any claims about the flavour. What was inside these, the early ones, was a cartridge like this. If you can see that. Okay, now that's got, I don't know if you can see, I'm sorry, my camera's not very good. It's got some filler in there, and it's tiny, it's minuscule. Alright, let's put that in perspective. This is a 1mm cartridge on this e-cig, okay. Have a look at that next to it. Can you see what I'm saying? I doubt if that is 0.2mm, okay. And with the filler, I doubt if you got more than 0.1mm, alright, which give you about 2 cigarettes worth, or about 20 good drags before it's running dry, alright. What does it say on the box? It says, it's almost funny if it wasn't criminal, per cartridge can be smoked around 200 mouths. Part of the problem in this industry is all the e-cigs come from China, and sometimes things get lost in translation, but look. Around 200 mouths. So they're implying that each cartridge in here is 20 cigarettes worth. Nonsense. You're lucky if it give you 3 cigarettes worth. I've challenged a few manufacturers about this, because I know how many puffs you get of how many mil of e-liquid in cartridge, because I've been using them for over a year, I've been researching them for 9 months, and I've been selling them for 4 months. And I know pretty well how many puffs you get out of a given size cartridge. So I challenged a few of them. How can you possibly say this? Do you know what they said? Oh, we're talking about Chinese puffs. I'm serious. That was their answer. It's because we're talking about Chinese puffs, and Chinese puffs apparently are about 1/10 of the rest of the world. So go figure. But the point is, there are companies that are past just taking what the Chinese manufacturer tells them and putting it on their website and presenting it to you with the same information. Okay, there were some responsible companies selling these for a not bad price of 10 cartridges for a £5. Okay, which wasn't bad. There was some selling at a fair price of a couple of quid, because you can buy them from China, you know, in bulk for cents, okay, for less than 20p, one of these, all right, with 10 cartridges. Now, but I've seen these on the internet, on Amazon. We've taken them off now. I've seen these, one of these boxes, which you can buy from China if you've got the money to buy enough of them, because, you know, they're in the business of wholesale, for a few pence. 50 quid! £50 they want on the internet. They will take your money and they will rob you blind. It's a minority of e-cig companies, as far as I can tell. A minority because there's a lot out there, but there's plenty of room to go wrong. So be careful. They replaced the next. When you get unhappy with this, when you're buying this type of cartridge, they moved up to a slightly bigger cartridge like this, without any filler, and slightly different technology. We won't go into detail because we haven't got all day, but here again they're telling you the same thing, 20 cigarettes worth. Again, this is a 1 ml cartridge, which does give you 20 cigarettes worth. Look at the size of it's next to it. I doubt if it's 0.3 mil. Okay, give you about 5 good cigarettes worth. Now it depends how many puffs you get out of a given cartridge and a given e-liquid will depend on the cartridge to a point. It will depend on your lung capacity and how you smoke. But in general terms, the thing that's going to affect it the most is the type of e-liquid, the recipe. Okay, if you've got just PG or just propylene glycol, all right, you're going to get less puffs because propylene glycol on its own is less viscous. Therefore, it will drain into the atomizer more easily. You'll have more liquid with each puff, and this is partly why, apart from the chemistry of it, it's partly why you get a better flavour from just propylene glycol, because more liquid with a higher concentration of flavouring is being used up in each puff, so you get less puffs. If you have just glycerin, you'll get a lot more vapour and a lot less flavour, but because you're getting a lot more vapour, a lot more puffs, because glycerin, vegetable glycerin, is much more viscous. Okay, I sell, many people do, combination of the two is the best thing, is a propylene glycol and a glycerin. You get good flavour transfer and you get good vapour. With the reduced PG, as Juicy Vapour call it, which is a mix of propylene glycol and glycerin, you'll get a good 200 drags per 1 ml. Alright? I've tested this relentlessly until I made this claim. Okay? I know this because I use batteries all the time, which You can't see it on the camera, but it's got the LED display, and it tells you how many puffs you've taken. So you can fill up a cartridge, you can start with a fresh battery, you can use it all up, and it'll tell you how many puffs you've had. So I know for a fact 200 is a good average. It pisses me off that people are lying to you. I hate it anyway. In the high street, and you all will know it, there are retailers out there. There was one called, well, I'm not going to name them, but you know, there are chains of clothing stores that bring stuff out, and they'll put out a t-shirt that's worth £7, not a special t-shirt, not a quality t-shirt, a t-shirt at a fair price, even though it costs 50p from India. £7 is okay for a t-shirt. They'll put it on the rack at £29 for 3 weeks, and then they'll go 80% off. You know, get it for £6. I hate that. That's an approach with a lot of the e-cig companies, is to put their products out at an inflated price to start with, and then tell you 40% off, save money. I mean, everybody discounts. If you've got too much of a product and you want to convert this product into cash, or you want to promote a product because you know people are going to like it and buy more once they've tried it, there's nothing wrong with fair discounts. What I hate is the engineered discounts that aren't really discounts when they're profiteering. And in particular, I've been looking at disposable e-cigs because I've got one coming out, okay, and I wanted to sell one that I can sell for the same or less as a pack of 20 cigarettes in the UK, and where the battery won't give up on you, and the cartridge is big enough to give you 25 puffs at least, so it's better value than a cigarette, and then you just toss it away. Because I want people, smokers, to try vaping, to try an electronic cigarette, so they can stop giving their money to tobacco companies, they can stop killing themselves, okay? They can get all the benefits that you do get from changing from a cigarette to vaping. But they won't be able to do that if people are ripping them off. They'll spend a lot of money and they'll get a rubbish product, and they won't try it again. And I talk to people in the street every day, and I've tried one, I didn't like it, it was horrible. They've bought cheap rubbish, but it's packaged to look nice. Don't be fooled by the packaging. Don't be fooled by flashy websites, people. Do research. Visit the forums and talk to people before you buy. Be careful who you buy from. There are some really unscrupulous companies out there that are profiteering. It's a minority, but some of them have quite a high profile. Go to Google, type in best e-cigs, best disposables, and you'll be able to work it out for yourself. I'm sorry to rant, alright? I'm hopping mad. If you don't want to go to a forum, send me an email. If you've got a question, I'll give you my honest opinion without bias, okay? Or, of course, I do sell them. It's not why I did this video. It's because it genuinely pisses me off. Work it out for yourself. But I promise you, fair prices, products that do what they say they do. And it pisses me off to do all this work and do it, and I could be lumped into a category with other people who are just leading up the garden path. Alright? So, don't smoke. It's worth the effort. Check them out if you haven't already, okay? But do your research. Don't get ripped off. Don't let these companies keep going, okay? They're going to ruin it for all of us in the long term, and I'll talk more about that another day. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. If there's more than one person got to the end of this, I'll be amazed. If what I've said makes any sense, tell your friends, share it. Above all, don't smoke, people. Vape. Thanks.